You see, ladies and gentlemen, when they realize the one is on the ground, they knows the one is back and the key's been passed. Okay, so they know that now. That's why Michelle sent that neat little thing with the stars that said, fuck you. The English language. Guess what I'm eating? I do love lettuce. Naturally, I grew up with smoothies. I had some pretty incredible stories. Naturally, the love stories are very powerful stories when the spirit of fire that is in you, you're on fire with love in your heart. When you're in a spiritual war, you know that we got a lot of very powerful stories to tell. So I suppose I'll share one with you because this is always going to be dear to my heart. Even though it was like Ride 'em Cowboy. That's what it is. It's like riding a Bronco. Okay, being a bull rider. I tried to get on a bull one night, being drunk. Yep. You know, when you're a little kid and you're fearless already, you know, you're already in auto zone. No, you're not in auto zone. You're on autopilot, which means you're a mower. You're a powerful vortex right out of the gate. Zipping a line, just like a zip line. So when Patty Broussard said you're supposed to be having fun down there, that is precisely correct. You got to know that if your children are not having fun being children, something's wrong. I know that because there's still a child in me. Because it's like your spirit never ages, which means love never ages. Love goes on forever. So the same little boy in spirit with my soul that I was as a little kid is the same one that's communicating to you now. It's just this looks a little older the way that display looks in the mirror. Right? But I used to just, I keep quiet. I'm not in the business of lowering somebody else's energy or lower mine. That's why I'm here. So the vast majority of time, I never said anything to anybody because now you expose yourself and you're going, expose me. I'm what the light is. So you know it fell into darkness. That's right. She fell in spirit. Into darkness, which is negative magnetic space. Okay, so that's why I knew as a child, we're going to get it up, Mama. We're going to get it up. We're going to get this up. That's known as the rebirth of the goddess. There's a goddess in me. You can better well believe. And so it's just, you know, there are times when you're measuring it, how are we doing here, right? How well are we doing here? Because you don't leave nobody on a spiritual battlefield. We don't leave our children on a battlefield. No way. No mother or father would ever do that to their children. Okay, so you know the one is going to be with our children. Okay. That's father. Okay. So there is a mother in me. So we're one. So this is a magnificent day. That's why I made all the public notifications. I normally don't do that because it's like Sarah Adams said one sense, it's like being a little child, a little boy or a little girl with a crown on. Okay, which means it's not about me. I already have everything I need. Trust me, I got everything I need. You're a purifier, so you're running the purest light, which is the purest love, which is the purest energy. That is an eternal gift. That is an eternal gift and energy. So it doesn't matter what I'm in. Because you know that is the engine of creation. So you never want to be separated from the female side of the cosmos, right? Gold, golden fire. So I love emerald pools. Emerald pools. So in the 1960s, I had the great opportunity when I was really experiencing more of the earthy type. As Terence McKenna, in one of his books, talks about the archaic revival. So what that really is, and he did a pretty good job about how critical mass works in the expansion of consciousness to experience more love. The real stuff, not dead light. Okay, real light. Which means you're experiencing the truth through the codes and the communication that you're now translating in your radio receiver. Okay? So that means that you all have an open line of communication now to us, the mob, the allied forces of mankind. So that means we broke through, ripping holes through all their communication lines to bring more light in here. Through all their layering with artificial intelligence and their technologies, to which basically their net. Okay, just burn through it. But it's naturally a very careful job because you don't want to burn up people, their DNA codes. So that's a whole another subject, how that works. But what it means is we now have an open receiver, an open line of communication with all of you down here. I'm here on the ground. So that's why I remember when Patty said the folks upstairs, you know, when he said the Allied forces were blinking their lights. Yellow Rose already told everybody it was over. All you have to do is, if you live in any kind of truth, because I certainly do, so I know this, but I don't tell other people what they're supposed to think. Otherwise, they're not free. I'm not a dictator. I don't direct anybody's traffic. I'm not a traffic cop, okay? I'm not trying to direct your consciousness in a direction. This is where Alex was right about self-learning or self-exploration. Experiential learners with the Andromedans, the mentor that he mentioned. And so it really gets down to how fast are you learning through all of your experiences. So now, remember Jimi Hendrix? Are you experienced? Well, how experienced are we? So these are all your communications that represent the experiences of how vast it is to experience everything that is out there to experience through others besides yourself. Now you're experiencing the diversity through which creation can take place because you're experiencing it, and that's the teacher. That's your mirror. You're experiencing it now. So now you know. You've had the experience. So the experience is the informer of that experience. So you're learning as an experiencer. And so there has to be some course direction with a compass, center point of a spear to maintain your balance. And what you're learning, how to do that. How long is it taking you to learn how to do that? Right? Balance magnets. And how you get around with your consciousness. So you're not banging into stuff, right? You're always on course. You know the pathway, the spiritual pathway that you're on, which is what love is. You're experiencing what love is. That's your pathway. That's the spirit. It's guiding you, protecting our souls, right? So this is a grand day. This is a grand creator day. Four square crystal tetrahedron. Sophia. A pink rose. That's why they named me correctly as a pink rose. Yeah, the first music teacher. It begins with music. It begins with music. It begins with music.